In preparation for this speech, I did a little bit of research into what the typical senior address should sound like. Based on said research, as well as the guidelines given to me when I signed up for this, it would be best if I avoided the overly dramatic cliches that so often accompany speeches such as this. But, being a rebellious teenager, I'm going to throw those rules out the window and go ahead and get those cliches out of the way. My fellow students, you represent the best and brightest this state has to offer. But, as Spider-Man's dying Uncle Ben once said, with great power comes great responsibility. You are the future, and your education is just the beginning. Now that you have this education, get experience, don't waste your opportunity, live your dreams, believe in yourself, and so on and so forth. Don't you guys feel inspired? I don't know about you, but after what I just went through over the past 4 years, I'm not feeling very enthusiastic about what the next several will bring. From here on out, it's either straight to the workforce, several more years of education, or, for those of you who are crazy enough to want to sink even more time and money into this stuff, some higher level degree like a master's or a PhD. At the moment, none of those options sound very appealing. High school was hard. You all know this. The all-knowing adults who know what's best throw the lot of us into what's basically a watered-down version of the Hunger Games. We kids fight to the death in a gory battle for survival, social supremacy, or just who can overachieve the most, and the adults sit back and watch. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you guys don't do anything. Without the support of all the mothers, fathers, and teachers out there, none of us would have survived. But you guys would be lying if you claimed you weren't at least occasionally amused by the politics of adolescent life. Fortunately, we've all survived thus far, though, like the tributes of the Hunger Games, none of us has escaped unscathed. And now, we're staring down the weapon-filled cornucopia that is the rest of our lives and thinking, what the heck is supposed to happen now? For those of you who have it all figured out, kudos to you. But for the rest of us, well, I, anyway, am terrified. All throughout high school, I was fed those cliches. The world is your oyster, follow your dreams, your future is what you make it. And now, I'm standing at the end of that yellow brick road that was high school, and I still just don't feel ready. No matter how many inspirational quotes, cliches, idioms, and sayings we collect and arm ourselves with as we grow older, it is never going to feel like enough when graduation arrives and the time comes for us to face life after high school. Sure, it's nice to think about following your dreams and making a difference when you're slogging your way through mountains of homework and emotional stress. But when it comes down to it, to the point when we have to start making the decisions that will affect whether or not we reach our goals, what college you'll go to, what degree you'll get, what job you'll pursue, it's difficult to see where those beautiful, inspirational words fit into the picture. I know I've had this problem. Just a few months ago, I was ready to give up this whole college thing. It seemed unfair that after all of the work, all of the stress, all of the growing up I'd experienced, the reward for all of this was just a more difficult version of what I'd just been through with the added bonus of more responsibilities. It seemed too anticlimactic, too difficult. Is it really too much to ask to want to spend the rest of my days living happily in my home with my family and my dog? Except It is too much to ask. After all of these years of walking down hallways lined with motivational posters and being bombarded by the advice of the adults in our lives, who are we to give up now and refuse to venture out from the warmth of the familiar just because what comes next seems difficult? It is now our job to listen to those inspirational quotes of our childhood and take a leap into the unknown. You may not feel ready to face growing up and all that it entails just yet, but the fact is, you probably never will. All you can do is jump, armed to the teeth with thoughts of living your dreams and making a difference, and hope for the best. Life won't always go your way, but you won't find out which way that is if you don't take that leap of faith, even when all you feel like doing is curling up under a blanket and binge watching Netflix. So step off the edge of that cliff and see what life has in store. That's the only way you can begin to listen to the inspirational quotes of your childhood and make your dreams a reality.